My debit card was declined while I was buying medicine for my little boy, and I thought it was just another banking mistake. I had no idea that one embarrassing moment was about to expose a 12-year betrayal that reached all the way into my own family. The people I trusted most had stolen my identity, forged my signature, and planned to take the only home my son and I had. What they never expected was that I would discover everything before they made their final move. My name is Lauren Mitchell. I was 34 years old, a single mother, and an ICU nurse who believed hard work could solve almost anything. My life was simple. I worked long night shifts, raised my 7-year-old son Ethan, and spent every Tuesday having dinner with my parents because that was our family tradition. I owned a small condo that I had bought with years of overtime and careful saving. It was not fancy, but it was ours. And every time I unlocked the front door, I felt proud that I had built a safe life for my son. My parents had always treated me like the dependable one. Whenever something went wrong, I was the person everyone called. I handled paperwork, helped with bills, fixed problems, and never questioned anything they asked of me. I believed that was what family did. Looking back now, I realize I spent years solving everyone else's problems while never checking whether anyone was creating problems for me. Everything changed one Thursday afternoon. I stopped at a pharmacy to pick up antibiotics for Ethan, but when I inserted my debit card, the machine flashed, declined. I tried again with another card, but it was rejected too. I felt every pair of eyes in the line staring at me while I dug through my purse for cash. That night, after Ethan went to sleep, I checked my credit report for the first time in years. Within seconds, my stomach tightened. There were credit cards I had never opened. Personal loans I had never requested. Thousands of dollars in debt attached to my name. The billing address on every account was not my condo. It was my parents' house. At first, I refused to believe what I was seeing. I convinced myself there had to be some mistake. Then I called one of the banks. The representative calmly confirmed the account information, including the phone number connected to it. It was my parents' landline. My heart sank as memories I had ignored for years suddenly came rushing back. Strange letters that disappeared. Questions my father always answered for me. Documents he insisted on keeping safe because he claimed I was too busy to worry about them. Instead of confronting anyone, I started collecting evidence. Every night after work, my kitchen table became an investigation center. Credit reports, bank records, timelines, and notes covered every inch of it. One account became 3. 3 became 9. The fraud stretched back more than a decade. Every piece of paper pointed to the same people. Then I discovered something that changed everything. While searching county records, I found a financial power of attorney carrying my name and signature. According to the document, I had given my parents complete control over my finances years earlier. There was only one problem. The date showed I supposedly signed it while I was lying in a hospital bed giving birth to Ethan. I physically could not have been standing inside a notary office that day. That was the moment denial disappeared. Forever. The deeper I dug, the worse it became. My parents had used my identity to open loans, credit cards, and accounts for years. Every statement had been mailed directly to their house where I would never see it. They even practiced copying my signature until it looked identical to mine. I quietly froze my credit, secured every important document, and reported everything to financial crimes investigators. The detective handling my case listened carefully before telling me something that sent a chill through my body. Everything I had uncovered was the past. The real danger was happening right now. Someone had applied for an $85,000 home equity loan using my condo as collateral. The paperwork was already approved. Funding was scheduled for Friday morning. Then my mother called to remind me about my birthday dinner on Wednesday. She sounded happier than I had heard in years. She talked about lemon cake, candles, and family traditions. She even offered to keep Ethan overnight so I could relax after dinner. That single offer made everything clear. She did not want my son out of the way for my birthday. She wanted my condo empty. Investigators traced a locksmith hired to change the locks while I sat across town celebrating with my family. My birthday dinner was never a celebration. It was an alibi. Instead of canceling, I agreed to everything. I removed every real document from my condo and replaced them with worthless copies inside an empty lockbox. Cameras were installed. Detectives waited nearby. All I had to do was show up, smile, and let my parents believe their plan was still working. Wednesday evening arrived. My mother greeted me with hugs, compliments, and a beautiful 3-layer lemon cake. Everyone laughed through dinner while I watched my brother checking his phone every few minutes. Then, just before dessert, my mother quietly leaned toward my father. "Since everyone is here, tell your son to change the locks." My brother grabbed his keys, claimed he had an important phone call, and hurried out the door. I simply smiled and took another bite of cake. An hour later, the front door burst open. My brother stumbled inside looking like he had seen a ghost. His face had turned completely white. He leaned toward my mother and whispered loud enough for the entire table to hear, "Mom, the police were waiting. They stopped the locksmith. They know everything." Silence swallowed the room. My mother stared at me, finally realizing I had known about the plan all along. She demanded to know what I had done. I calmly placed one document on the table. It showed someone had recently tried opening credit in my 7-year-old son's name. That was when every excuse died. My father finally admitted the truth. My brother confessed his role. My aunt looked at my mother with complete disbelief. Years of lies collapsed in minutes. As I stood to leave, my mother repeated the words she had used my entire life. "Family does not need permission." I picked up the remaining birthday cake, looked her in the eyes, and answered quietly, "It does now." The investigation ended with fraud, forgery, and identity theft charges. The fraudulent loan was canceled before a single dollar was released. Every fake account disappeared from my credit report. My condo remained mine. Today, my son still rides his bike outside our home, my mail arrives only in my mailbox, and every important document stays locked where only I can reach it. For years, I believed trust meant giving family unlimited access to my life. Now I understand something far more valuable. Real family never needs to steal your name to prove they love you.